What's up guys, and welcome back to Top 5 Daily. Today we're going to be counting down the top 5 Battlefield games, and I myself am a pretty huge Battlefield fan myself. I've just been playing Battlefield 1 for the past week. It's just absolutely amazing, but we're going to be choosing between all the Battlefield games that DICE have developed, and this list was just so hard to make up because DICE just make so many amazing Battlefield games that it's just so hard to choose between them. But with that said guys, be sure to leave a like, and let's try and reach 1 like on this video, and if you can reach that, that'll be actually amazing. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Number 5, Battlefield 3. So what I think about Battlefield, when I think about Battlefield 3, I just think about just all out destruction. And this was a time of when Battlefield 3 and the whole Battlefield franchise really had really made a name for itself, and it started to, I guess, rise out from the ground because it was more Call of Duty back then, right? It was more like Modern Warfare 2. People were into COD, right? And then Battlefield 3 came out, and everyone was so amazed by this game just due to not only the graphics but the actual just gameplay itself. 64 player wide destruction battles, it's just absolutely insane. When I played this game, Battlefield 3, I don't know what to say. I was just absolutely amazed by just everything that it had. The graphics, just everything. The maps were actually really well designed, and I honestly think this was the pinnacle of the Battlefield franchise, and I honestly think that Battlefield 3 is probably one of the greatest Battlefields of all time, and I reckon it really did revive the franchise, and it really did show a lot of people. And a lot of people did actually move from COD to Battlefield after the release of Battlefield 3, and I honestly think Battlefield 3 deserves this number 5 spot because it's just that great of a game. And yeah, Battlefield 3 comes at number 5. Number 4, Battlefield 1. So I know what you guys might be saying is, why is it not high on the list? But Battlefield 1 and the next 3 games on this list were so hard to number them and actually order them because they're just so good. All of the Battlefields in this list are just absolutely amazing, and I think DICE just really did do a good job on just nearly every single Battlefield game, to be honest. But anyway, I reckon what Battlefield 1 did was an absolutely amazing job at really taking us into the World War I setting, and it's a really good change of pace because there's just so many games out there and so many new games that are just oversaturated with the whole futuristic genre, and I really personally think that it's getting really stale now. Like, say for instance Call of Duty, like the past 5 games or in the future, and the next Call of Duty, which is Infinite Warfare, which is getting released in like almost a week now, it's taking us in the future. And I honestly think that Battlefield 1 really did, and just DICE in general, I reckon they took a really risky move by actually making the game and putting it into the World War I setting, because people, like, when people think of World War I, they think just semi-auto rifles and just not really much fun, to be honest, and like trench warfare and all that. But it's not the case at all. I honestly think Battlefield 1 really did actually show that developers and just game companies can actually make a decent World War I game without making it feel like it's just, you know, just this semi-auto, you know, trench warfare like game. Like, I think Verdun was sort of like that as well, but I reckon, I don't know, Battlefield 1 honestly really did stand out because it's just an amazing game. And yeah, Battlefield 1, it really does deserve the spot, and I would have put it high on the list, but we haven't really seen the full potential of Battlefield 1 because it's only been a week now since it's been released, and we haven't even gotten any DLC yet. So maybe when all the DLC comes out and when the real Battlefield 1 cycle does end, it may be higher up on the list. But for now, it's another 4 spot, and I honestly do think it does deserve this. But anyway, Battlefield 1 comes at number 4. Number 3, Battlefield 1942. So personally, I haven't played this game, and I've actually played the predecessor to this, which was 1943. But what I think Battlefield 1942 was actually a lot better of a game than 1943, because this was the first Battlefield game in the whole just franchise in general, and I think this, like, for the first game, I reckon it was honestly really well done, and it was just, it really sparked, and it was a really good start to the Battlefield franchise, because 1942 was a game that was set in World War II, obviously, hence the name, but 1942 really did start the whole, like, mass battles and just huge epic battles with 64 player servers and all of that. Like, it was the start of something great. It was the start of a genre and just a whole franchise that would really take off in the future. And I honestly think this game really does justice to the whole 1942 setting and just the whole World War II setting. And it was just an amazing game for its time. It was released in 2002, I'm pretty sure, and it was just it was an amazing game at its time, and I reckon it really was ahead of its time, and just it really did introduce the whole all-out war with tanks and just planes and everything like that. And I honestly think 1942 did an amazing job at really setting the scene for World War II, basically. And I honestly think that this game really does deserve this number 3 spot. And yeah, Battlefield 1942, it comes at number 3. Number 2, Battlefield Bad Company 2. So I just love this game. I remember back in the day that when I was in year 7 or year 8, 2010, so it was like 6 years ago, I was in year 7, I was playing this game, and I was just so amazed by just everything, just the graphics, the whole setting, the modern FPS, just the whole modern FPS I guess scene, and just I really did think it was probably one of the greatest Battlefields of all time, just because of just the difference in just between Battlefield Bad Company 2 and just all the other games, like the games after it, like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. It was so much different, and it was different in a good way. It was funny, it had a lot of humor. The campaign was probably one of my favorite campaigns of all time, and it was personally probably the best Battlefield franchise campaign. And just, I think this game, it really did pique my interest in the whole Battlefield series, and it's just so exciting. And I remember playing it on PS3, and then the whole, I don't think it had 64 players. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was only 32 players, but that's still. I remember playing the demo, or I think it was the demo. It wasn't even the beta. It was just the demo, and it was the first map. It was the snow map. I completely forgot what the name was, but it was the snow map. I think it was like Arctic something, but that really did interest me. I really did enjoy the demo. I think it was only, I don't know how long the demo went for. It was like a week or something, but it really did. It just interested me so much, and I think it really did show game companies that Battlefield and just DICE, they're pretty good. They're a pretty good game company. And Call of Duty, they were actually competing with, I think they were competing with Modern Warfare 2 at the time. I'm pretty sure. I think Modern Warfare 2 was released in 2009. Let me just I think it was 2009. But this is like the most off-script freaking thing, the most off-script list ever. But yeah, Modern Warfare 2 was released in 2009. It was competing with it, and I think that, yes, Battlefield Bad Company did sort of lose the competition, and Modern Warfare 2 was obviously a lot more people did play and enjoy it. I think it was one of the best Call of Duties of all time. But even if it did lose, I still think it was one of the best Battlefields. And if it got remastered to this day, I would just like freak out. I would just jump out of my chair. I would jump out of the window right now. But anyway, I think Battlefield 2 is, or not 2, Bad Company 2 is an amazing and one of the best Battlefields of all time. And Battlefield Bad Company 2 comes at number 2. So coming in at the number 1 spot, I don't know, can it be anything else? It's Battlefield 2. And again, I haven't played this. This is the second game that I haven't played on this list, but even if I haven't played this game, I do think it still does deserve the number 1 spot, just because all of the community feedback and just the whole, I think this game has had a lot of love by just everyone in general, and this is a really nostalgic game that people can go back and play and just really immerse themselves into the whole Battlefield franchise and just Battlefield modern FPS setting. And I really did think that Battlefield 2 was a start. It was the start of the whole modern FPS genre, and it really took large scale destruction to a whole new level. It had what was it, the Commander mode. It introduced the Commander mode, and that really did, people really did, it sort of had a both negative and positive feedback. I think a lot of people hated it, a lot of people loved it as well, and it was something that, you know, it was a different thing. They were just trying out new things, and the Commander mode came to mind, and like, yeah, let's put it in the game. And you know, a lot of people did not like it, but I think what Battlefield 2 did right was it took something that was great, and they turned it into something even better. And that's what I think Battlefield 2 is. And I think it was the if I'm wrong, I think it was the predecessor or the sequel to Battlefield Vietnam. Again, I'm not too great with the older games, because I probably wasn't even, like, I was probably like 10 when this game came out. I don't even know, but yeah, I feel like Battlefield 2 does really deserve this number 1 spot, and it's probably marked as the greatest Battlefield of all time. So that about wraps it up for today's top 5. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to slap a like and also subscribe for more daily top 5s. And if you guys have any suggestions for what the next top 5 should be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to read it. But with that said, guys, hope you did enjoy this list. If you guys have a different list, be sure to leave them down in the comments below again. And but with that said, I'll catch you guys later.